We got new automation using Copper Golems, which are a new mob in the game, as well as we've got Copper Chest, Copper Tools, and Copper Armor. Hello there, right here. Let's try out all these new things that are in the Bedrock preview. So to play, you do have to play on Bedrock Edition, and make sure you click on the preview and click play. And then when it loads up, make sure it says the version 1.21.100.23. And then you can just go play preview, create new world, do creative, and also turn on cheats, and then scroll down on the left hand side to experiments, and then go ahead and do drop 3, and then click on turn on experiments, and this will include the new Copper Golem and all the new stuff. And then just go ahead and click create and confirm. We're gonna have to deal with this vibrant visual thing because when you come to the settings, there's no option to actually turn it off. So to make the Copper Golems, you place down any of the types of copper blocks, and then you just place a carved pumpkin on top. And this will convert them over into the Copper Golem entity, as well as the actual block, which is the new copper chest. That one makes it oxidized, and then this one is the weathered one. And then of course we got this one here, which is the exposed, and lastly just the normal copper one. It's crazy, they're already going around opening up chests, looking for things. So I went ahead and put some stuff inside of this copper chest, and let's see what they do with it. Opens it up. And he grabs exactly 16 of the first block, and this guy grabbed another 16 of the first block, and they have it in their hand. You can see they're actually holding it, so it looks like they can only carry 16 at a time. And this guy here, he's coming over, he's checking it out, and yeah, he also grabbed 16. So now that they have blocked the hands, they just kind of stand around. Let's go ahead and put a chest down, see if that interests them. Okay, yeah, it looks like they're coming over to the chest, they're checking out. They're looking for a place to put their blocks, so it looks like they found the chest and they actually did put the block in there. And they got this cool animation of them like shoving it inside. So now they all have the second block. They're all checking this chest out, but they see this chest already has a different item in it, so they're not putting their block in there. But if we would go ahead and place in one of their blocks that they have, now when they check it, they're going to go ahead and place in their blocks. So essentially the way it works is if it's empty chest, then they'll just put whatever block they have into it. But for the most part, they're looking for a chest that already has the item in it. So let's let them automatically sort out items from any copper chest into any normal chest that has at least one item of the item that they are holding. So we can make automatic storage just by having a chest, at least one of every block they want into it. Let's say this is like your copper chest. We're gonna put at least one of each type of copper. And then whenever you want to sort out all your junk, you can just throw it into one of their copper chests. And then they'll automatically check copper chest and try to put it into a corresponding normal chest. Let's go ahead and just give them one copper chest so they're not confused. And yep, they're all coming here, they're checking it out. Yep, they're grabbing some of it, and then they're seeing where to put it. Oh yeah, they already put in 16. Another guy put in his. This guy's gonna come check it out. And let's see, what if I put an empty one over here? Are they gonna get confused? Put in the empty one. Okay, this guy. Oh yeah, okay. So this guy, he happened to find this chest first, so he ended up putting his block in there before this one. So you don't want to leave empty chests around, otherwise they'll just end up putting stuff in there. Whichever chest it has come across first. Oh my goodness, these guys look so cute. Oh, that's so cool. So you can easily do some simple automation. Now it's not very efficient, so you wouldn't want to do this like on a huge scale. But at least now we get the Copper Golems that they first showcased in the mob vote way back in 2021. Now it failed the mob vote, so it's really cool that we get it. And they did also add the automation part of like them pushing stuff, but instead of them pushing just random buttons, this is way more useful. And they said the reason they did this is because a lot of people complain about their chests becoming cluttered, and inventory management is one of the main problems people have. This way people could just come to a single copper chest and then throw in all their random stuff that's in their inventory, and then let the golems slowly work and go ahead and move the items into the appropriate chest. And because these guys are entities, you could probably just load this area with like a chunk loader, and they would keep working while you're off and doing your own things. So it's kind of like a farm, but except you got little helpers that are helping you organize all your stuff. But there is a maximum amount of chests that they'll check, being 10 copper chests in a row in order to try to find an item that they can pick up. And when it comes to finding a chest that they want to place items in, they will only check a maximum of 10 in sequence as well. But if they can't find a spot to put their item or an empty chest to put their item into, then they will idle for 7 seconds before trying again. And the area in which they will check for either of these chests is from the location out 32 blocks horizontally and as much as 8 blocks upwards, which means you can have quite a large storage area and having them move throughout the entire spot. But to get over this limit, what you could do is once you have the items sorted, let's say all the vegetation stuff in here, then you can go ahead and push them into a new chest, and then they'll recheck this chest and then take those and then move them into new chests where their individual items are. This way you can get over the 10 limit of chests that they check. You just have to make sure that you have a wall here so that they don't try to immediately put stuff in there. And if you would kill one of these copper golems, they're going to drop between 1 and 3 copper ingots and whatever items they're holding. And you can craft your very own copper chest just by using a chest with copper ingots around it, and that'll produce one of them. So if you want to oxidize one, you'll just have to wait for it to naturally convert over. And if you use some honeycomb on the chest, you can actually wax it so that it won't oxidize. You can also shift click an axe to unwax it, or you can even use it to clean off all the oxidation. Let me know if any other questions you guys have about the copper golems, and I'll answer them in a future video. The update also comes with copper armor, comes in all the variations that normal armor does, and it's crafted the same way but with copper ingots. And if we put the pieces on, this is what it looks like. It actually looks pretty good. I think for the longest time people were thinking copper armor would come out since they had copper in the game for quite a while, but now we finally got it. I guess people thought the same thing about emeralds, but we never got our emerald armor. Let's look at how much protection this copper armor gives you compared to the other armor. So down by our inventory, we can see how much armor protection it gives. You can see it gives 5 armor pieces. And if we compare this with the other ones, we can see that leather gives 3.5, where gold armor gives 5.5. So copper armor is better than leather armor, but it's worse than gold and chain and iron and everything else. What do you think of the copper armor? And do you have any other questions related to it? We also got copper tools. These are made just like normal tools, except you use a copper ingot. Let's go ahead and try these out and see how they compare to other tools. So copper tools are stronger than stone tools, but they are weaker than iron tools, which falls into the progression where you normally get some stone tools and then you have to go and find iron. But now you can find copper as it's a little bit more abundant. Make yourself some copper tools before moving up to iron, which is a little bit harder to find. Because of this reason, it cannot do anything that iron is associated with, like breaking a gold block. Normally you need an iron pickaxe in order to obtain it, and that's true. And same thing applies to anything that you normally need an iron pickaxe for. So like mining diamond ore, you still need to use an iron pickaxe, and you cannot use a copper. But let's see if we need a pickaxe or an axe in order to mine up these new chests. And it definitely looks like you need to use a pickaxe and not an axe. So all these tools are going to be slightly faster than using cobble ones, but they're not going to be as fast as using iron ones. The same thing goes for their durability. They have less durability than iron, but more durability than your stone ones. Now the difference between Bedrock Edition and Java when it comes to the amount of damage swords and axes can do is slightly different. And if we compare the different swords attack damage, you can see that the stone sword is 5 attack damage, and so is copper. So they're exactly the same, where the iron sword is 1 higher. So no benefit in making a copper sword other than more durability. And same thing goes for the axe compared to stone axe. Now when it comes to enchanting these new tools, weapons, and armor, they're going to have higher enchantability, meaning that you can get higher enchants for lower levels than diamond tools, but not as good as iron tools, but slightly not as good as iron tools. And like gold tools and iron tools, you can put them into a smelter and you can smelt them down. And this makes the copper nugget, which looks really cool. You can also get copper nuggets just by breaking down your ingots, or you can of course turn your nuggets back into ingots. What other questions you guys have about the copper tools or weapons? We also got the full release for Java Edition 1.21.7, which fixes some bugs and also introduces the new dentist painting, as well as a new music disc called Lava Chicken, which you can get from Chicken Jockeys. And even though farming this up automatically was difficult, I did make a video on it, which you can check out later if you haven't already. And if you've loaded up the launcher recently, you'll notice that there is a new loading screen, which has a little video of the new Happy Gas while the launcher is loading up. Now come watch me live as I design a new automation using the Copper Golems. You can find the link to my Twitch channel down in the description, and while you're over there, make sure to drop a follow as we're getting close to 50,000 followers over there. I'll see y'all over there. Bye bye.